Well, he's a cutie pie. I might put him in Potomac. Okay, yes. Yeah, he can come right on to Potomac.
All right, what's up, guys? As you can see from this video, I have a very special guest on with me, okay? Now, I just want to give you guys a little bit of background. We have talked about her with regards to Snakegate. We have talked about her literally the first half of the season with Real Housewives of Atlanta. And as you guys know, I have been wanting to speak with her for quite some time. And to be quite honest with you, I had thought about reaching out to you like weeks ago, but I was like, I don't know if she's going to be able to talk about anything because things were still unfolding. And so I thought I'll wait until after things sort of settle and see exactly what she has to say and if she can actually speak about it. So I said, you know what? We're going to go ahead and just get it out in the open. We're going to talk about everything that's going on with her. We're going to actually let her speak about the things that she wants to speak about. And then we're actually going to shift from Real Housewives of Atlanta towards the end of the discussion because I also want you guys to know that she's doing some great work in the community and that she has her own YouTube page, which you guys need to be following. It will be in the link in the description below, so you guys can follow there, along with any other relevant links that we want to get out. Okay? So first things first, let's introduce my guest. It is Miss Yovanna in the house.
Yes, Yovanna mon plaisir. You finally said my name right, Mr. Richie, so thank you, because you know you've been playing for a long time, but we on the same page now.
You know what? It is absolutely fine. Go read me down for that. It is
okay,
all.
I still got love for you. Water under the bridge, you know.
No, you know what's so funny? I ran into Karen Huger from Real Housewives of Potomac, and she read me for something too. But it was honestly we laughed so hard about it. It was so much fun. But I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for
and thank you for having me, Richie. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So I want to can you start off by talking about a little bit about your background? Now, some people don't know this, but you've been on TV for quite some time.
Yes. I have been doing TV since I was 18 years old, believe it or not. I got my start in the music video world. So I was a video vixen in Atlanta from 2002 to 2006. So every video you could possibly imagine, I was in there.
What was the video you did with Porsha?
Yeah, that was my very first music video. I was I think I was 18 years old, the Trillville Some Cut video.
Okay,
so that was my first introduction to the TV world. And I know most people don't consider that doing TV, but that's where I got my start.
No, I mean, I think it is. I mean, it's legitimately where a lot of people get their starts in doing music videos or in some way, shape, or form going from one aspect of entertainment to another.
Yes, yep. So I started off doing the music videos, and after a couple of years, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of just being the pretty face on the screen. I want to be heard. And so at that point, I started taking acting classes. So a lot of people don't know that I am a trained and skilled actor. I trained at the Alliance Theater, the company acting studio, and that led into me being pitched for opportunities in the reality TV world. So I did TLC Say Yes to the Dress back in 2013 when I was getting ready to get married. And then the producers of Bridezilla saw me on that show, reached out, and they were like, we need you for our 10th and final season. So I did the 10th and final season of Bridezillas, and I got married on that show. And we had the most expensive wedding in Bridezilla's history. You know, I have to say that.
Was it your sister that you got into it with, or was it a friend of yours?
Which show? Because I got into it with family and friends between both. So you talking about Bridezillas?
Yeah.
It was two occasions. Two of my sisters, my older sister and my younger one. The younger one is the one who I pulled her wig off, threw it in the toilet. And then my older sister is the one who I had like the pimp cup. I was telling her that it was my day and I was taking her out of my wedding. Yeah, that was my older sister.
So for me, I wanted to kind of set the stage to let people know that you've been in this business for quite some time.
Yes, I have. Yeah. So
You know,
when
and
people say,
Real Housewives of Atlanta was not your first go round at the rodeo.
oh no, not at all, not at all. So when people say that I'm thirsty to be on TV, it's like, girl, I've been doing TV. What are you talking about?
Actually, before a lot of the other ladies were doing it.
Oh, before a lot of them, absolutely. Yeah, it just so happens that Bravo finally found me. That's all.
Let me ask you a question. Did you think that you would make for a good reality TV personality?
You know, for years before I even started doing it, people would always tell me that I would be great for reality TV. And I was just like, I'm just being myself. And so I guess, I mean, based off of what I hear, the feedback from people, I think I'm in the right industry.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I consider myself a reality TV expert. And I think you might be reality TV gold.
Oh, well, thank you.
And honestly, I'm basing that on your work before Real Housewives of Atlanta. Just kind of seeing you in your own element with your own group of friends and family, you know, the dynamics there, the drama, it was already there. So,
yeah,
adding you to the mix with these ladies, how did you feel? Let's talk about last year. Let's talk about your first appearance on the show. What did you take away from that? Like, tell us about that scene.
Well, it's funny because I remember going into that scene. Nene was like, "Look, girl, we know that you have an issue with Eva, but this is going to be a very calm, cool, collected kind of evening. It's going to be organic. We're not going to get into it." And I was like, all for it. It wasn't my plan to do what I did, but obviously we were at a winery. I hadn't eaten that entire day. Drinking it up. And then what took me by surprise is when they showed us where we were going to be sitting. And they intentionally set her and I next to each other. And so, you know, the producers, they knew what they were doing. They set the stage. And when she walked in and did the whole, "Oh, it's nice to meet you," I was like, and then, I mean, the rest is history. You guys know what happened after that. So, yeah, my poor husband, he was very, very, very embarrassed.
In that episode was hilarious.
Yeah, he still feels it to this day. So it was a cringe moment for him.
After that scene happened, like in real, like when you were filming it, right? And like the next day, did you say to yourself, "I regret it"? Because having done reality TV myself, there were moments that I thought to myself, "I hope they don't show that." And every moment that I hope that they didn't show, they showed.
You know what's crazy is I didn't remember saying or doing any of that. The next day, my husband was like, "You wilded out. You better hope they don't use it." I'm like, "What did I do? I don't even remember." Like, I blacked out. Like, I had to go back and watch them. Like, I said that. So yeah, I definitely regretted how my delivery was because that was my introduction to the world. And so till this day, people still hang that situation over my head. And it's just, you know, it is what it is though, you know, because I understand it comes with the territory, but I wish I would have maybe done it a little bit differently.
So I want to pull up a photo of someone really quickly. You guys are actually cool now.
Yes. Who would have thought in a million years? Like, that is my homegirl now. And it's so crazy because our good friend that we share, she's like, if you guys actually like got over what you're going through, you guys would be like best of friends. Like, you guys have a lot of similarities. Like, I know that you guys would vibe. And I can actually say she is one of the women that I'm the closest to right now amongst all the girls. Like, that girl, she's a down ass chick. Like, she's a good person. She's a really good person. And I hate that we didn't get to explore that sooner than we did.
But you know what? I think personally, I like to see that type of journey on a show like this. Because it shows you going from sort of this place of, hey, we have this history and it wasn't so pretty at one point in time, and now look at us. Because I think that's what the show ultimately should show.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And what I think is important is that it shows, you know, because a lot of the times people just see the women hanging out when they film, and a lot of their friendships are kind of like that. They only hang out when they film. Outside of filming, that doesn't happen. Like we actually hang out outside of filming. We're planning like a girls trip this summer. So those are the things that people need to pay attention to. Like, are y'all rolling with each other outside of cameras, or y'all just acting like y'all friends when it's time to film? So yeah, it's all about organic, real friendships. That's at least in my book.
So, because I felt like and I've made made this no secret, I felt like she's been very underutilized this season, and maybe it was because she was expecting. That would have been something that would have been really nice to see between the two of you guys, to see that develop. Yeah,
and you know what's crazy? We actually made up last season. They just didn't show it when we were at Cynthia's, the launch of her wine cooler. We hugged it out, water under the bridge, girl, we cool. And I thought that they would show that, but that hasn't been highlighted at all. So who knows?
We missed a lot of makeups on this show, especially this season. I want to know, and I hope this is okay to ask, how are you and Nene at this point?
Nene, that's my girl. We cool.
Okay, good. Because I want to get some clarity around Snakegate. I do have questions, and I hope that if you can answer them, let me know. Obviously, if you can't, just say so, okay?
And I've said a lot of what needs to be said on the Snakegate thing. I don't know if you saw my Sister Circle interview.
I did.
I put out some YouTube stuff, so has she. It just ended up being a misunderstanding as to the verbiage that was used.
Okay, so let's talk about how everything surrounding it. Okay. This was my take on the situation. I took it as you said, girl, I got receipts. Meaning that you probably filmed something with Cynthia and she probably, was venting. And this is what you were speaking of. That's what my assumption was, right? And then maybe you said, hey, well, it was filmed, so it exists. And at that point, what I got from that, and this is just me doing my little guessing game and thinking about how reality TV works, when Nene said to Kandi, they recorded everything she said, didn't mean you, it meant production.
There you go.
So from there, Kandi ran with that to me. Someone was recording a conversation with their phone when in fact it was the cameras. Am I correct?
There you go. You nailed it.
So to me, and I've been screaming this for the longest time, like this whole Snakegate situation, there was really no snake.
In my opinion, if you really watch the show and you're really into it, if you pay close attention, everybody has snake-like behavior. And when I say that, it's like I feel like everyone just kind of used me to be a detour to the shady stuff that they do to each other. The messing up engagement surprises, shading each other's men, shading each other's businesses. Like, what? That's all snake-like to me. That's not what real friends do, or smiling, kikiing in your face, and then going behind your back and saying something. So in my book, every single one of them are snakes. So I don't know why y'all pointing the fingers at me. I always say it. When you point the finger at somebody, it's 3 pointing right back at you. As you say, the foo-foo of it all. The foo-foo of it all. Stop.
So, I'm going to tell you the truth. I even Googled who was the snake in Snakegate, and your name pops up.
Right.
I feel like it was literally, I did that. And I thought to myself, you were the convenient blame for a storyline that was blown out of proportion. Yes. And there needed to be some ultimate villain behind the curtain, and that actually ended up being you. Am I correct in that?
You're absolutely right. And when you think about it, at the end of the day, all this drama being stirred up for something that no one's ever seen, no one's ever heard, no one's even ever asked to hear one, if there was one. So that just goes to tell you that it wasn't really important. They just wanted to have somebody to just attack and point the fingers. And I just happened to be the new girl. And it was just easy depending on me.
So when you said you knew about it being recorded to Kandi, I'm assuming what you meant was, yeah, it exists because it's in production wherever they have it, but you can't say production while you're filming. Typically, from my understanding, from what I did, it wasn't like I could not say production just said to do this. That's
exactly.
Not what
there you go. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I wanted to kind of clear that up because that was my sort of just knowledge of how reality TV shows work, and I wanted to get your confirmation that is how this all played out.
Yes, so the confirmation is there is no recording, there never was one, and there will never be one that'll be produced because I would never even do anything like that. So, yeah, you got your answer, Mr. Ricci.
Ow! Listen, I feel like Inspector Gadget over here. Okay.
Everyone does when they talk to me. Jeez.
All right, so let me ask about what's your take on, the show as it is currently, like what the things that are happening. Do you ever think that Nene and Kenya will work it out?
No, I don't. It's very clear that Kenya wants nothing to do with her and vice versa. Even when Nene tries to extend olive branches to her, I mean, you guys see how her energy is. It's like, it's like she has no interest in trying to make up. So I feel like those two genuinely, they just don't like each other. And I don't foresee them ever connecting. No, I don't.
What's your take on, and just as a note, guys, after we sort of get through a little bit of these ROA questions, we're going to be talking about Yovanna's business endeavors. Because I think that some of what you're doing, actually a lot of what you're doing is really important to highlight.
Yes.
And there's one thing and two things in particular that I'm really interested in. But before we get to that, what's your take on the whole situation with Nene and Porsha making up?
Fake, and fake.
So was this what you were commenting about on Instagram?
That's exactly what I was commenting on. The whole, I've been so lost without you, girl, bye. Like, you literally 2 seconds ago was like talking trash about this woman, telling the entire group not to talk to her. You guys, you were the main culprit of trying to ice her out this season. And now all of a sudden, oh, I've been lost without you. This shit is fake. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, you can make up, but you ain't got to like overdo it. Fake ass tears, fake ass apologies. Everything's just fake. Like, did you not see that? Was I the only person that caught that? And that's not being bitter. It's just clearly evident that it's fake.
So you I've been putting some other things together as well in my head, and you've kind of confirmed some of it. Because what I was wondering was, I was like, well, why does everybody have such a hard time with the two of them making up? And what I'm hearing is, even from Kandi and Kenya, was that it was how dramatic it was in comparison to maybe some of the things that she had to say about Nene prior to that happening.
Not only that, but vice versa. And this is some of the things that I take issue with. Did you guys not hear at the top of the season when Nene told Porsha she needed to get a rabies shot? Or do you remember that? Okay. Or when Marlo even said, oh, girl, I can't bring my dogs around you and Dennis. Marlo said that Kandi had referenced. A lot of people had referenced it, right? And everybody's cool, kumbaya, we besties. I say one thing and all hell breaks loose. Now you want to fight me. For one moment, we were sharing flasks with Hennessy, kicking, kakakikin, but then the second I said one thing, and I repeated what everybody else said, oh, now you want to fight me. I just don't get it. I don't understand. That's why I'm like, I'm just confused.
The other thing that I wanted to kind of get your input on, and I ask these questions because I feel like you've been around the group, and as viewers, something that I think we want to know is, what's your take on the situation between Kenya and Cynthia, with Kenya sort of, I don't know, almost kind of, to me, it felt like wanting to sabotage Cynthia's wine business. That's how I took it.
That's a tricky topic because, after like talking with people like Eva and her describing their friendships, to me, and me seeing how long they've been friends, it's like, yeah, she does some shady stuff, but do I feel like she's intentional with it? Sometimes, like with the engagement thing, I don't think that she intentionally was trying to sabotage. But
Right.
when she was going in on her businesses, that was a little bit of a dig. That was a little bit too much. It's like, girl, come on now. This is your friend. So it's like, I'm like in the middle when it comes to them, because I know that they've been friends for a very long time, and I do believe that their friendship is genuine. I don't feel like they're...
I definitely believe it's genuine. It just always strikes me as odd that it's happening. I don't know.
I know. Maybe it's just to have a moment. I don't know.
That could be it too.
But I wouldn't throw my friend under the bus and make her look crazy for a moment. I would just focus on my enemies if that was the case.
Right. To me, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Yeah, because it makes the other party question, like, girl, we cool? We good?
So we won't really touch on the reunion right now, because we know that that's kind of on hold or whatever. Would you be willing to come back?
If the numbers were right, I absolutely would consider it. I mean, I have a lot of things that I have going on.
Let's talk about them.
Yes. So my foundation, Stop the Traffic Global. My foundation, I created in order to bring more awareness to the human sex trafficking epidemic, not here just in Atlanta, but in our country and globally. Unfortunately, human sex trafficking in this state happens to be a $292 million a year business. And it brings in more money than the illegal gun and drug trade combined. And so I felt it was my civil duty to utilize my platform in a capacity to where I could bring more awareness to it. Because there's a lot of unintentional and unintentional contributors that go along with sex trafficking that people aren't aware of. A lot of people have no idea that there's something called recruiters. People that look just like your children, 14, 15, 16 years old, that are actively seeking out your kid to put them in the business, while your kid is just thinking, oh, this is just a friend. So it's just a lot of things that the media is not portraying and not teaching and telling us. And if I have anything to do with it, I'm gonna spread the word.
Yo, you just literally kind of blew my mind with that whole recruiting bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
if you ever feel like you meet somebody and they start talking to you about things that sound too good to be true, like maybe, I don't know, giving you money, offering you trips, introducing you to the modeling or acting world, just like out of the blue, or just like them being too friendly, or you're down on your luck and they're offering you a place to stay, or just if it just feels weird, it could potentially be someone trying to traffic you or a loved one. So, like I said, those are the things that I try to focus on heavily. I have been speaking at colleges, at high schools, a lot with the youth, just to bring education. I don't know if you know this, Mr. Ritchie, but I was also recognized by the United Nations at the Georgia State Capitol for my efforts with human trafficking. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal, and I'm very proud of what it is that I'm doing. And I also here I'm going to be writing a book on sex trafficking awareness. So I want you and everybody out there to look forward to that, because that is in the making. Okay.
Well, all you got to do is let me know, and we definitely throw it up on the.
I know where to find you.
Okay, you know, you know where to find me exactly. Now, I want to talk about you also. What I have noticed is, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
You know, I've kind of watched your Instagram from the start of when we were introduced to you until now. I'm always interested in the cast members and what they're doing and how they evolve. And I've seen a definite glow up with you. And especially on the fashion front. Can you talk to me about that?
Yes, my clothing line, Mon Plaisir by Yovanna. We had an amazing launch. What was it? Back in late summer. It's just single pieces, a lot of boutique pieces. Only things that you can find at Mon Plaisir by Yovanna. We have our summer collection coming up soon. So, ladies, gentlemen, we do have some nice glasses and hats that you guys can wear and feel
Thank you.
in.
Thank you.
But yes, support your sis because most of the things that you guys see me wear are from Mon Plaisir by Yovanna.
Okay. And again, for everybody who is watching and who will watch, all of the links will be in the description below so that you guys can check out her
Yes.
YouTube, her Instagram,
Yes.
Stop the Traffic, the shop, everything will be there. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the book? I'm always interested in hearing about people who are writing and who are in the publishing arena.
So it's going to be geared toward human sex trafficking awareness. So a lot of the things that I mentioned to you earlier about wanting to just get more information out there, things to look for, what to pay attention to. Because a lot of the times, if you don't know what to look for, you could potentially become a victim. And those are the things that aren't put out in the media enough. So my book will be very detailed into things like that.
Okay, perfect, perfect. And so a couple of quick last questions before we go. What's next for you? Like, what else do you want to do?
Okay, well, I am currently filming for a television show. I can't talk too much about it, but that is in the works. Like I said, my book, it's also going to cater to, like, you know, the everyday woman as well. Like I said, more pieces from Mon Plaisir by Yovanna. My husband and I, we run a consulting firm together. We've been doing that for the past 5-6 years, so that'll just continue to flourish. But just keep an eye on me. Like I said, I am a trained actor, so you will be seeing your girl on the big screen very soon. And I always am very intentional to let you guys know it's not just Housewives, okay? I have a lot of other things that I do, okay?
You know what? I absolutely love you. You can come back anytime you got something to say, girl. Come back anytime you got something to say. I appreciate you for taking some time out of your day to do this. It really, really means a lot to me. And I know it will mean a lot to at least some of the people who are watching my channel, because what I firmly believe is that, you know, you offer something valuable in terms of the work that you're doing. And I think that people who look beyond just the Housewives will find that. So that is why I want to encourage you guys to follow her, because she's doing some work that will extend well beyond Housewives and will extend well beyond anything that she does on television, because she's actually impacting lives. So I want to say thank you for stopping by today.
Thank you for having me, DJ Big T. I appreciate you. I enjoyed you. You're the best. And yeah.
All right. And hang on for a second. I'm going to do a little quick outro, and then I just want to thank you personally after I get off. For those of you who are watching, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell button, and of course, I will see you guys in the next video.